Hello and welcome. So, let's talk about one of the most common and, let's be real, one of the most annoying pieces of advice out there. Just think positive. We're going to break down exactly why that phrase, as well-meaning as it might be, usually just doesn't work.
I mean, who hasn't heard this one, right? You're having a rough time, you're feeling down, and someone hits you with that. But instead of helping, it kind of feels like they're just brushing you off, as if flipping a switch in your brain is supposed to be that easy. Well, turns out there's a really good reason it's not.
And believe it or not, the key to understanding all of this, why it's so hard and what we can actually do about it, can be found in a simple glass of water. We're going to use this metaphor to unpack the whole idea of our mindset, and honestly, it's a real game changer. Okay, to really get this, we've got to go back to the very beginning. Let's imagine our minds right at the moment we're born. This is our starting point, our clean slate. Think of it just like this. When we first arrive, our mind is like a glass of perfectly clear, pure water. It's totally untainted, It's not filled with baggage or negative experiences yet. That is our default state. Before life starts happening. Because, of course, that pure state doesn't last forever. Life happens to all of us. And as it does, that once clear water starts to get a little cloudy. So what is it that clouds the water? Well, it's all the stuff we pick up along the way. Every time you're told what to do, what's not acceptable. Every time a teacher or a classmate calls you stupid or fat. These are life's scars. And it's impossible to get through life without them. Each one of those moments, it's like someone dropping a little spoonful of dirt right into your glass of water. And so, over the years, what happens? All those little spoonfuls of dirt start to add up. And that clean, clear water we started with, it becomes murky. It gets cloudy and unclear. This is what our mind looks like after years of collecting all those negative experiences. So here we are, walking around with this glass of murky water. And this is exactly the point where society's favorite, but flawed, solution comes into play. Right on cue, we get told, hey, you should just think positive. The idea is that adding 1 or 2 positive thoughts is going to fix all that murky, negative stuff we've got floating around in there. But does it really? This visual just nails the problem, doesn't it? Trying to think positive when you're full of negativity is like pouring a tiny bit of clean water into a big glass of mud. Sure, it might make things a little clearer for a second, but all the dirt, all that negativity, it's still in there. It doesn't actually go away. A few positive thoughts just can't compete with years of accumulated grime. Okay, so if just adding a few drops of positivity doesn't work, what does? This is where we get to the real solution, the thing that actually works. It's not about occasionally thinking positive thoughts. It's about building an intentional mindset. See, an intentional mindset is a whole different ballgame. It is not a passive thing you do every now and then. It's a continuous, active process. You are deliberately choosing to curate and focus on the positive in your life. It's like instead of just adding a few clean drops, you decide to install a heavy-duty, always-on filtration system for your water. So how do you actually do this? How do you build this filtration system? Well, it starts with actively searching for the good stuff. You have to become a detective for positivity in your own life, not just wait for it to fall in your lap. Then you find things to be grateful for, things that make you happy. You make gratitude a real practice. From there, you look at the people around you and intentionally build relationships that pour clean water into your glass, not more dirt. And finally, you build an environment for yourself, both physically and mentally, that supports all of this. It's a whole system. And this right here, this is probably the most important takeaway of all. This isn't a part-time job. It's not something you do just on the good days. To really, truly clear your water, you have to be intentional about it all the time. It's a constant commitment to filtering out the bad and pouring in the good. So that leaves us with this final thought. It's not about faking a smile and telling yourself everything's great. It's about taking small, real, deliberate actions every single day. So my question for you is, what's one intentional positive thing you can do today, maybe even right now, to start clearing your own water? Thanks for joining me.